big weekend. We've already said it. Teams are 5-1. Sitting on this bus right now, but it all started in Kansas City when the boys flew from Nashville, Tennessee to Kansas City to watch the Nebraska Cornhuskers take on the Cincinnati Bearcats. We get there, confidence is high. I see a scout for the Jets. I go, what are you doing here? He goes, I'm here watching this tight end for Cincinnati. I'm also watching the quarterback for Cincinnati. I said, oh yeah?
The D tackle for Cincinnati.
D tackle for Cincinnati as well. And I go, well, this game's going to be a blowout, right? And he goes, I don't think it is. I go, no, Nebraska's going to cover -6.5, aren't they? He goes, I think this game's a lot closer than what your fan base is hoping for right now.
You're telling me that FanDuel Sportsbook is wrong that Nebraska's going to cover 6.5.
Yeah. And he looked me dead in the eyes and he goes, this game is going to be a lot more interesting than you think. It's going to be a lot more
interesting.
And Taylor
came and told me that.
And I told him, listen, I don't
need to hear that.
I got to give my boy perfect information. Obviously, it's not the information you want to give to your guy, but hey,
you have to.
Know, yeah, it's like the Vince Vaughn movie where he sees his boy's girl cheating on him. It's like, what do? You got to tell your boy. Even if your messenger gets killed, I got to let him know.
And eye test wise, it's like you have this idea of Cincinnati, but seeing them in person, I'm like, hey, they got some cats.
Especially
they got some cats in
Sorsby, buddy. I'm telling you, that kid is electric. Big boy. Hard to take down type of boy.
Fast. And that tight end looked the part too.
Yeah, he did.
Like they got to get him probably more involved. Shout out Coach Stepp also.
Shout out
tight ends coach at Cincy.
He was the homie. He's your boy, right? From South Carolina.
From South Carolina.
Fan of the show. Yeah. Soon to be possibly friend of the show. They apparently the doors are open at Cincinnati for us to come, which might be a spring tour stop this coming year.
Yeah.
But I want to get your impression of the game, your feelings throughout first, second, third, fourth quarter, especially in the fourth quarter. But also, next time there's a Nebraska football game we got to go to, we're getting security. We got to, it is fucking ridiculous. And also, I actually would like to say this one thing too. Nebraska fans, known for being the most polite, generous fan base in all of college football.
Got a little edge to us now.
I'm walking through, and it's like, well, you're the best. Taylor, fuck Michigan. And I'm like, whoa. What are we doing here?
Even to where I'm saying easy.
Easy. One guy mistakes Jack. Thank God Jack took this bull from me. He was wearing a little Kevlar on the chest. Some guy's like giving Will the love. Hey, you're the best. You're the greatest. He's fucking putting his back of his throat.
And he looks over at Michigan.
Yeah, he looks over at Michigan and goes, fuck Michigan. To the point where we know how Will's been a little nasty towards Michigan. He's even going, listen, boys.
Easy. Oh, my bad.
Listen, boys. Hey, we got to put down. I'm walking through. I go to take a piss in the second quarter. Drunk Nebraska fan comes up to me and goes, oh my God, Bussin With The Boys. Taylor would love you guys, blah, blah, blah. Daps me up. I'm like, oh man, appreciate you. Thank you for watching the show. Go Big Red tonight, am I right? He's like, yeah. I go to take a piss. I whip my little piece out. He goes right next to me in the urinal and he looks at his boy. Literally, not a space in the urinal. He goes right next to me. I can hear you. He goes, man, it's so crazy. We got to see the Bussin With The Boys guys. It is just Taylor. Like, he's not really the boy. Like, Will's really the boy, but like, it's awesome to see Bussin. And my little piece of my hand, he's getting a little gun shy too. He's getting a little sad. He's starting to turtle up on, man, we got to get this piss and get out of here, buddy. Bullets are flying. Cincinnati comes out. First time in my life I heard Nebraska Cornhusker fans boo. Cincinnati gets
booing with them coming out to the field.
Gets a first down. Cincinnati Nebraska booing. Flag on the play in favor of Cincinnati. Nebraska fans booing. Under review goes Cincinnati's way. Nebraska fans booing. I'm hearing a lot of fucks. I'm seeing a lot of middle fingers. Nebraska fans are fed up for a reason. Thank God we started 1-0. Will Compton, you have the floor.
Yeah, I think Nebraska fans are sick and tired of being sick and tired. There were people overreacting a lot to what they saw on Thursday night. Overreacting a lot to what they saw on Thursday night. Oh, Nebraska, they're going to be middle of the road team. People forget that Nebraska, not even of old, of recent,
of last year,
ways to lose that one-score game in the fourth. My balls were in my stomach when Sorsby had the ball. They just drove down on us running the football and scored. And they got the ball with a minute and change left. And I am like, holy fuck, we might lose this goddamn game. And look, people, again, forget the things that we've went through. We didn't attempt a field goal over 50 yards last year. We banged one in from 52 with juice left on it.
Check.
like special teams has been such a problem for us. We now have a punter that had 3 inside the 20, 2 of them inside the 10. We got guys on the outside with Hunter and Key that can go up and get it. You got Ja'Cory Barney, had a drop in the game, but Ja'Cory Barney is a hell of a football player. Emmett Johnson can run through your face. This is a +1 guy. You get a one-on-one in the hole. Like the balance that he has in low center of gravity, we have a good running back. We have a good line. We have guys at every position
44.
on offense. 44. JP identified him right out of the gate. That's going to be a player for you guys.
That's a college football player right there. That's what he
44
said.
making plays out there at the tight end spot. Raiola, it came out. You let the games play out all weekend long, and you see the ebbs and flows, the way people feel about their team, and then they're not up to expectation. Coming out of that game, Raiola was what? One of, I want to say Lenore Sellers is probably in that category too, but before Sunday kicks off, the only P4 quarterback to play against another P4 program and have over 200 plus yards, over 60% completion rate, and 2 touchdowns.
70% completion
I think
rate.
he was the only. Carson Beck probably got it.
But
I think it was just them two.
Right, but the metric was 60. Yeah, Dylan was like 70% plus on completion. Like, I wish we would have took more shots downfield, but they played a very soft 2-shell, even 3-shell at times with safety. So we're taking what the defense gives us. For me, I come out of that game optimistic because we find a way to lose that game. Last year, the year before, the year before, the year before, the year before, and the year before. We find a way to somehow lose that.
I think there's actually
game,
one more year before in there as well.
Another year before.
Yeah.
And so I was fired up. There's a lot of stuff to build on, a lot of things to grow from. Situationally, you can't have a false start when you're on the goal line, you're on the 1 yard line, you have a false start, you get pushed back, you end up settling for 3 when you want 7 in that situation. And the defense, again, balls in everybody's stomach. We need a play defensively. Who's going to show up? It happened twice with our black shirt defense. In the second quarter before the half, when they throw that little underneath route, Buddy lights him up, fumble, we get the ball back, score before we go into halftime. Again, you want to come out and get points. And then again, at the end of the game, is it Hartzog, number 7, gets a defensive holding penalty. And again, that's where I'm like, God damn it. This is going to happen on week 1. Gets a defensive holding penalty, but keeps his, J.D. Pickell says this, keeps his competitive composure and comes out the next play and makes a massive interception to seal the game. A lot of times, again, you go up, you're in your own head as a player, you can't move on to the next play. You might go up and PBU that or break it up or whatever. He secures the football, gets a massive turnover. I think there should be a lot of optimism. There is a lot of growth. I kind of like the spot we're in because the big game as a fan that you look at on the schedule, you don't want the players to do on the schedule, is you look at Michigan in week 4. So you should be coming out of that game, with a lot of things to correct and a lot of optimism. Hey, we can do this, we can do that, but we got to hone in the situational football to where your asshole's a little tight all the way up to where you brew September 20th, Michigan Bussin Bowl. Because again, you got Akron, you got, is it HCU? Who is that? Houston Christian? At home.
Yeah.
So we're going to be comfortable. We're going to be working on things we need to work on, but it's like the tell is going to be week 4 against Michigan. Whereas your guys' test comes more this week for you guys.
I like to give one thing that impressed me the most about Nebraska. They finished the game +1 in the turnover margin. That to me
was
is
it
massive.
+1 or 2?
No, +1.
Because I don't think we turned the ball.
Oh, no,
over.
because you guys, Dylan got the ball. Well,
so
there was
God,
3
so
separate
lucky.
fumbles. 3 different times that Nebraska Cornhuskers offense put the ball on the ground.
That usually goes into the opponent's lap.
Goes in the opponent. So that right there, it's a God thing. It's a the football gods type of thing. But like last year, the year before, and the year before, that ball goes in the hands of Cincinnati. Now, shame on Cincinnati for being one of the DBs trying to scoop and score the situation, get on the ball.
Dive on the ball.
Yeah, you're trying to make an ESPN top 10 move. You end up being on the ESPN not top 10 by not picking up that ball. However, the ball goes on the ground for Nebraska's offense 3 separate times. They recover it 3 separate times. That is a change. That is a visual change you can see in the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Can't always choose how the ball bounces your way, but when you've had so many years as a Cornhusker fan watching the ball go the way against you, it's nice to see it come for you. So I don't know if it was +1 or +2.
Yeah.
Last year, Nebraska Cornhuskers averaged 1.5 turnovers a game. They had 0 in this last game.
And field goal. We had 3 blocked last year.
Yeah.
Low trajectory kicker. And again, didn't attempt 1 over 50. Like, you got a guy that puts it in from 52.
Yeah. And who's your boy Eckler? Is that his name?
Yeah, Eck.
I will say this about Eck. I'm in Nebraska uniform. I got the red shoes on. I got the Nebraska shirt. I got the Nebraska hat. We sneak off because these NFL rules in the Kansas City. We sneak off for a moment, get on the sideline. We see Eck, dap him up, give him love. I say, hey, you see the fit? He goes, I love it. I go, I give you this right now. But September 20th, obviously, I'm hoping for you guys' downfall. He goes, he looks me dead in the eyes and he goes, we don't fucking need you. Then I go, hey, I'm just trying to have a good time with you. Yeah. And he just smiles and dabs me up and walks away. Like, that is, and I love him more for it. Looked me dead in the eyes, drew a line in the sand, and goes, that's my boundary right there. I said, you got it, brother. Absolutely. Fired up for Nebraska. There's so much to clean up. Would have loved to see.
Can't give up over 200 on the ground.
Can't give up 200 on the ground. Yeah, that was a bit of a sieve, but it's also a very mobile quarterback that had a twitch that he just seemed like he was moving at a different gear than everybody else in the field. Yeah. No disrespect to the Cornhuskers defense, but that kid, he was a notch faster than the rest of everybody else in the field. I would have loved Raiola, his completion percentage. Just by I don't want to do the comparison because it would cause a fluster, but like he had a lot of completions. A lot of those came from checkdowns. He had a couple of nice throws in the end zone that got him a touchdown. I would have loved to see an attempt at an X play through the air. Oh, that's I think it's the one thing you look at a Nebraska fan and be like, love the stat line, love the rating, love the completion percentage, love the yards. Would have loved to see he threw that dime right there.
I'm sure they're all thinking, and even the staff is looking at the way they call the game, being like, "Oh, we could have took a show. We could have done this here. Could have done this there."
Yeah, because butthole's got a little tight. I mean, as it should have, right? So how many times did that not go your way?
Yeah,
Nebraska or Cincinnati, a team that in the Big 12 is kind of picked to finish.
They might win the whole thing. Cincinnati. They might win the entire Big 12.
One of the teams that finished last in the Big 12. I think they're going to shock some people this year.
I think they'll shock some people.
Yeah, I think Kansas State.
Cooked.
God, they're fucking
bro, that
done,
game
dude.
Close. I saw
Avery
the
Johnson's dad is somewhere. I got to look out for Avery Johnson's mom, man. We got to make sure everyone's safe in that household. Like, it is tough, man.
Cincinnati is now fifth.
I think they were towards the bottom.
They're way worse.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Not fifth. That's just where the scrolling was.
Okay.
They're still plus 2,500 in the sports book.
And I love that the Big 12 has 20 teams, but it's the Big 12. I love that the Big 10 has
Big 12's wide open.
Kansas
looks good.
I'll
Texas Tech came out and put an ass
Did you guys watch Arizona State at all?
I thought it was a little too close.
No,
for
that's you're looking at the score.
That's casual.
Yeah, you're looking at the score because I mean I didn't get to watch the game in full. Obviously they play at
so you
1
didn't
a.m.
see it either.
No, I went back and watched the game.
Okay.
I went back and watched the game. Sam Levitt, great touch on the football. He's got a kid, I forget his name. He's number 0 if you can look that up for ASU.
Jordan Tyson.
That kid had so many catches that you're like, holy shit, this guy is a dog. Who's the cat? Their receiver or their running back room. They ran all over the yard on NAU. Their defense did a great job of standing up. Sam Levitt had one uncharacteristic throw by him, but I feel like that offense is going to be cooking in a big way. They get to go across the country to Mississippi State this week. It'll be fun to watch. I think they're favored by 6.5 right now, which I think Arizona State, because you put on Mississippi State's game. They played Southern Missouri.
That was close.
It was close in the first half. They really pulled away in the second half, but I think it was like 10-10.
Something like that.
It was tied up and it's like they got a nice little running back who came from the Sun Belt. He can move it around a little bit, but their offensive line looked a little slow, a little lethargic. The speed that you see the SEC with when you have the SEC logo on your chest, Mississippi State doesn't have that right now. So it'll be fun to see that game for sure.
Team that's got some juice in the Big 12 too is Utah.
They beat the shit out of UCLA.
Shout out Nico.
That OC and quarterback that came up from New Mexico, like they're nice.
Yeah.
Hey, quarterback's nice.
I'll say this too, man. Like Josh Pate said it, like Utah State had an uncharacteristically bad year. They're used to getting 9, 10, 11 wins every single year. They have a bad year last year. Everyone kind of writes them off. Utah, those Utes, man.
I want to hear about Michigan.
Yeah, let's dive into Michigan. We were kind of getting off the rails. Bryce Underwood. He's a guy.
Listen,
but he's got some zip on the ball.
I have some unhealthy optimism about our football season now. After watching that game take place,
kind of close for a second.
When you look at the score, you think to yourself, "It got kind of close for a second." However, when you watch that game, and this is, if this doesn't happen, then this. And I know that conversation is just kind of disgusting for a lot of people, especially if you're not a fan of Michigan. That team, New Mexico gets 7 points on a fumbled kickoff return. Okay, ends up going where they have this insane trick play where they hit a ground ball. They have a little ground ball to the running back. He pops it over to the tight end. Who gave us troubles? Number 7 for New Mexico gave us troubles all game. That's 7. In the third quarter, or is it the beginning of the fourth quarter, when they march down the field and they end up scoring 7, you have 3 different third downs of 3rd and 10 plus that Michigan stopped them with either incomplete pass, a sack fumble, or a PBU that gets called back because of a penalty. So if you're a Michigan team, the thing you need to look at is this. When I put the film on, when I'm watching the film of the University of Michigan on offense and defense, it's like both offense and defense played very well. You have to clean up the fumble. Number 4, he's a rookie. He had that. There was also another one where he had a little wheel route that Bryce Underwood basically hit him in the head. He just wasn't even looking. But at the defense, I love the way they played. They played 27 different guys on their defense.
I don't like how they gave up 21 first downs.
21 first downs. A lot of those come from the penalties that happen as well. You have Jayshawn Barham, who gets ejected. That is going to be appealed. We'll see if he doesn't. If he does not play against Oklahoma, that's a huge. And
that fucking sucks. Everybody's been bitching about the targeting, and I agree with what the world is saying. It's like that cripples college football.
Cripples college football.
Like suspending the kid the next week is crazy.
That play was a fumble that was returned for a touchdown that was being reviewed to see if it was a fumble at all. There was no penalty flag on the play. They review it, they call it targeting, and they say the kid's disqualified. To me, it's like, man, like what are we doing in that situation? Like, yeah, his helmet hits the other kid's helmet, but he's not like putting his crown of his helmet down. He's wrapping him up. He
even tried turning his face.
Right. And listen, from New Mexico, you got to give New Mexico a lot of credit. Like that kid Lane, he was under pressure all night long, whether it was 4 or 5 coming at him. He was pressured over 17 times in that game. He took 3 or 4 sacks, but you had a revolving door of a very strong defensive line and a front 7 that was making him uncomfortable all day. He's the most sore guy in all of college football. Lane comes from Idaho State. Same guy, the head coach for New Mexico. He was also out of Idaho State. This is the same team that gave Oregon fits last year, where they only lost to Oregon by 3 points. So they're a better football team than a lot of people are giving them credit for.
I mean, they were the 130th out of 132 defenses coming out of last year.
Yeah, coming out of last year. But you look at Florida State, who was 10-2 last year. They have 23 new transfers. I think New Mexico. What's that?
2-10.
2-10. Sorry, they were 2-10 last year. They have 23 transfers. They end up turning. I mean, it seems like they've really turned their season around with the upset against Alabama. New Mexico is another team that had a shitload of transfers as well, with this coach and this quarterback who has had success against Power 4 teams before. I'm not saying New Mexico is world beaters.
I'm just saying for New Mexico.
You say you look at Florida State. We talking about New Mexico.
When you look at Bryce Underwood as a Michigan fan, you think, I just want to see completed passes. First play of the game, it's a bubble screen out to Samaj Morgan. Great blocking on the perimeter. He gets a first down. Bryce Underwood had -5 rushing yards, and I think it's for a reason. I think they told him, don't run, take as little hits as possible. He was hit 2 games. Both of them were his fault. The kid his release is incredible. He was putting the ball in a great spot every single time. If he missed in front of the guys. He had a great, they were backed up. I mean, you take the 2 minute. The 2 minute was incredible. They're backed up on the 2-yard line. They run an RPO, and he puts it over 2 other defenders and puts it right in Klein's hands. That's the tight end. The kid comes out. He's jumping around right before, which I'm getting nervous about. I'm like, he's a little too hyped up before first game of the year. And he seemed poised. The game didn't seem too fast for him. I know it's New Mexico. I understand. But the level of optimism, when you ran the ball we did with as a day 1 install, they did nothing pretty the entire game. They were very basic on the defensive side of the ball, very basic on the offensive side of the ball. They ran RPOs while still blocking the defensive end. Like Bryce Underwood was never going to run that game. It was very apparent, which makes me feel really good about the game coming up. That gives me the optimism. Oklahoma rushes for 44 yards against an FCS school. They are obviously very good throughout the air. Their offensive line seems like a bit of a problem. It seems like Mateer was under pressure a little bit. And boys, I'm telling you, we get this offensive line to gel a little bit. The run game is there. Justice Hayes, thank you so much, Garrett, for letting me have that boy, because he ran for 157 yards on 15 carries and 3 touchdowns. It fires me up.
I'm just glad that you could tell watching that game, they very much had a plan to match the identity of what they wanted to do. Like, big time run, a lot of run scheme, get them on the perimeter, move in the pocket, boots, play action. Like, they knew what they wanted to do with Bryce.
Yeah.
And I think he can zip the fucking ball. And you'll get to see how good the team is, like when you play against Oklahoma, because, Oklahoma, again, not taking credit away from New Mexico, but this will be a different ball club. Windows will be tighter. Defenders will be a lot better.
Right.
Scheme will be a lot harder to identify. And then they have, like, again, you look at how New Mexico, Michigan did it, shoot themselves in the foot with a lot of different penalties. But New Mexico, like, being able to move the ball, like John Mateer seems to be as advertised. Like, Oklahoma's going to have an offense. So Michigan's defense will be tested this weekend.
Right. And it'll be,
you can find our picks on the locker room. Josh
You
Payton,
can find your
Wednesday
picks in the
night.
locker room. If you're thinking as a Michigan fan, Bryce Underwood needs to be the guy to beat Oklahoma, I think you have the wrong thought process. Like, you need to win first and second down, keep their offense off of the field, and put Bryce Underwood in a situation to be successful on third and manageable downs. Brent Venables, like, he's had 10 years of success at Clemson, being an absolute stud.
Oklahoma. He's a defensive-minded cat.
He's a defensive-minded cat. He took over the play calling. They look good. I mean, the interior of their defensive line is really solid. It's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a fun game to watch. I cannot wait to see how this Bryce Underwood cat walks into Norman, and is he the guy who he says he is? Who he says he is? Because it's exciting, man. I feel so optimistic about this Oklahoma game. So incredibly optimistic. I can't wait to see how it all goes down.